Good morning, CrossRoads. Ah, I'm Angie, and I am a blessed, humble believer in Jesus Christ. For as much as I talk, this is real hard. Ah, I came to know the Lord when I was 10. I was baptized, and throughout the next many years, I tried living my life the way I thought I should live. Obviously, that didn't work. Um, and it got me where it always got me, which was in rough ways. I went through, I am now in my second marriage, and things have been rough. I have pleaded for God's grace. I never felt good enough. We struggled in our family. I had good parents. We were financially secure. We had good vacations. We had it all. So everybody else thought. We were children that were to be seen and not heard. My dad was an executive with a very big company. My mother was high in a place that did O-rings for the Apollo launches. So she was very good at what she did. But inside our walls was a lot of abuse. I was a daddy's girl, respected him very much, and loved him very much, but I was the fourth child, and I felt my job to make everybody happy. And I see now, after 54 years, that the only person I didn't make happy was me. I had gained some weight, and in 2002, I decided to have weight loss surgery because I, again, didn't feel good enough. I had called a friend of mine who was an attorney and just decided to place a DNR because I thought that was cool. You should have all your paperwork in order. And me procrastinating did not go pick up the paper. So I thought, oh, well, just go to surgery, lay down, have surgery, wake up skinny. That's what everybody else did. Well, didn't work. In fact, I didn't wake up. I died on the table. And my daughter was 16. My son was in third grade. And my mom was there. And the doctor came out and told him I didn't make it. My mom, being the wonderful mother she was, yells at the doctor and tells him, go back in and fix me. So he took her order because she was older, and he went back in and put me on a ventilator. And obviously it worked, probably because you have to stop talking to quit breathing. So I'm not sure what happened in between there because there's lots of different stories. But during the process, they nicked my bowel. And, you know, probably with a dead body, you don't worry about where you put things. So that surgery or that process has led to over 28 surgeries, 4 chest tubes, over 16 blood transfusions, MRSA staph, cellulitis, lymphedema, 2 trips to Mayo Clinic where they have no idea why I'm alive. Except with my sense of humor, I tell them I have one God, one ultimate healer, and that's why I'm here. And it's not funny, and I try not to laugh because I don't want anybody to mistake the fact that I know I have a God. And I want them to understand that I truly believe in God. And I have had the opportunity to witness to so many people. And I mean, he is amazing. And during one of those times, I was given the blessing of, my mom was walking down the hall in one of my stays in the hospital, and she could hear me say, "Hurry." And I had been out for 2 weeks in basically a coma, I guess. And everybody found it funny because I was telling people to pick up things that didn't exist. And it was just, I'm a very private person, but decided at 3 a.m. to take a shower and go to my doorway and gonna walk down the hall naked, telling people just how hot I was. No, doesn't happen like that. So I'm yelling at my mom, telling her, "Hurry, hurry, hurry." And she gets to my room and I say, "Move over, I've got to place Grandma's picture there." And I look at my mom and I say, did something with my mouth that only my grandmother had done to my mom. And I said, "Grandma said she will explain all this later. My grandmother died 3 years before I was born." So, of course, I feel privileged to have been able to deliver that message. A little jealous because I'm just that type of a child, because I wanted to meet her. But anyway, I praise God that he chose me to do that. I had walked around this. I apologize to anybody with a weak stomach, but I need to tell this how God has blessed me. I was told I was okay to travel. We traveled 18 hours back to see my family, and we were there 2 hours, and my stomach blew open. I was holding my guts. Where we were at didn't want to treat me because they didn't want the liability. So they told me to pack it and drive 18 hours back to Kansas. Luckily, I have a husband who worked with cattle, and it didn't bother him. So we did that. Well, 3 times after that, it still blew open. And one of those times, my son was rodeoing, and I packed it back in, wrapped a towel, and I said, "Duct tape me." They're like, "No." I said, "Duct tape me." I went to the rodeo, then went to the hospital. God was that good because I figured if I was going, just take me. I was tired. I really didn't want to live anymore. And then I realized that if God parted water, he could heal me. And I did a lot of praying. He is an ultimate healer. Well, then, how could I be upset about not losing weight? Because then that is condemning him. And then that makes me not happy with me. I don't have that right anymore. And when I came with my husband, because of course we were going to fix him. If we fixed his problems, then I didn't have any problems. Well, guess what? Because of the people at Celebrate Recovery and in this church, they weren't nasty, they were mean, but in listening to the videos of testimonies, I realized, wow, and a couple nudges from my husband, going, And we've been married 26 years, and I'll tell you, we've had some nice fights. And we don't mind calling each other out at all. Not a problem. Through those testimonies, though, I've realized that it's not about just a specific addiction. It's about life. And when you actually shut this, which I have trouble, and you open this and open these, that you begin to hear and feel, and you can heal. And I don't cry because I'm sad. I cry because I'm happy that at 54, I've got so many more years left to finish healing, and how happy I can be. And there's so much love in the church. And I had heard something one time: if you come to church and you're offended, then you're here for the wrong reason. And I can be offended real easy. And I don't mean to make jokes, but I guess that's how I've always gotten through things, is to laugh. And maybe someday I'll be able to laugh, but not hide behind that mask. We, because of going through this, last year I obtained I am now a Kansas State certified recovery coach. And I wanted to do that because I see the kids that have been so affected. And I realize the recovery is for the people, but also for the kids. And how, we say we're healing, but if they don't understand what we're going through, how can they heal? Then we went to a leadership conference in Tulsa with Celebrate Recovery, and it was just amazing. And the love that was there, and that will always hold special in my heart, because my nephew had been in Afghanistan and lost a buddy, and he was from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And I was given the honor of going with my nephew to pay our respects to this young man's family. And fast forward all these years later, when we went to the Celebrate Recovery Conference, it was in Broken Arrow. Well, we stayed all night in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. We went to Tulsa the next day. Great time. And as they're wrapping up, they bring up the fact of an opioid. A lot of deaths in Franklin County, Ohio. And it was the fact that there was like 40 to 60 people that died in 8 days in Franklin County, Ohio, specifically. My nephew was that statistic because he died June 1st. His cousin died the day before, and 2 cousins the day after. And nobody knew that. And I about got sick. But I spoke to the person that gave those statistics. And what made me so proud was because my nephew he wasn't just a statistic anymore. That now there was going to be a story with that statistic. And it will make a difference. And it just, through Celebrate Recovery and through churches like this, it does make a difference. And I'm sorry, I'm lost, which is not anything unusual for me. I've had a tumor on the brainstem. I've had MS, and the doctor they call and they say, "Are you sitting down?" "No, I'm not sitting down." "Are you sitting down?" And they're like, "We just don't know what to tell you." And it's like, well, you can't give me anything I'm not going to take. And we just keep going back, and I keep praying, and they'll say, "Well," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to claim it. If I don't claim it, I don't have it." And there's only one person who can make me stop breathing, and that's God. And I'm not, like I said, I don't stop till I quit breathing, and I can't quit breathing till I quit talking. So, I am just so proud to be a part of this church and a part of Celebrate Recovery. And through Celebrate Recovery is just amazing that any time that you hurt, any habit, any hang up, there's always an open arm. And even if you don't want to talk, somebody will say, "Hey, how's it going?" Well, that's not the place to lie, because they know you, they see you, and they really do care. Thanks for letting me share.